which is very important as well. So let me come back to the Chief Executive Officer for the Foundation for Development, Tholoma Sumah. I'm sure you guys have been engaging in a series of activities since day one, and I'm sure you want to take us to the organization and what you guys do.
Well, thank you very much for the question. We Foundation for Development is an NGO in Sierra Leone that is with a mission to make Sierra Leone self-sufficient and independent. We do this through the production and also manufacturing. We believe that Sierra Leone must be able to produce and manufacture for itself if we want economic development. We have seen most of the things we use in Sierra Leone are being imported. We want to say, no, that should not be the roadmap. What should be the sustainable way of developing is to produce what we consume. Importation is a temporary thing for every country. If you are in emergencies, that is the time you call for importation. Maybe the time we are in war, those are trying times, you can import. But after the war, now we are sovereign state. We must be independent. We must strive to be self-sufficient and self-sustaining. So this is the idea we are promoting. As we are currently celebrating the Christmas, we will see a lot of diasporas coming into Sierra Leone. They have eaten a lot of white man's food, I will call it that way. And then when they come back to Sierra Leone, they will be eating white man food. Yeah. That is unfortunate. When they come here, we want to see that they eat our own produce. So this is the idea we, as Foundation for Development, we are trying to pursue. We want to see that Sierra Leone produces what it consumes. Consumption in our own case doesn't necessarily mean what we eat. We also mean what we wear. We also mean the technological equipment we use. We also mean the shoes we wear. These things, we can produce them here, but we have not given them attention. We have solely dependent on what comes from other places. So we want to see how best we change that narrative. To us, it does not make sense that we produce engineers in this country every year, but when it comes to the construction of our roads, we call other people. When it comes to the construction of our stadium, we call other people. When it comes to the construction of our state house, we call other people. When it comes to any construction project, we call other people. It does not make sense to us. It does not make sense to us that we have a lot of lands, fertile lands that across the country, even where we are seated now. If we remove this building and plant something can grow here. That is the beauty of Sierra Leone. But yet we import a lot of food, including the staple food. To us, that does not make sense. We must make use of our lands and our energetic human resource to see that we produce abundantly for this country and also export the surplus so that we can have economic growth. We have seen everybody is crying the ground dry, right? That is because we are not producing. If we are producing, we don't have money, we can just take what we produce and eat. For instance, I go to conferences, I tell people, for me personally, I have a rice farm. I tell other young people, okay, you also have a pepper farm. You also have a garden eggs farm. You have an onion farm. So if we all have these farms, what I do, I give you some of my rice, you give me some of your pepper. That is how the world started. But we have more concentrated on the cash. We want people to give us cash, and then we are not producing. That is dangerous, because whenever you receive that cash, you have to spend it. When you spend it, it gets out of your hands, and then you don't have other way. AYV had just given me, I work at AYV as well, they have just given me my salary. That salary, what I was going to do is just to buy things, and then the money will go off, right? So for me to be sustainable, I have to produce for myself so that I sell and then have more money. So that is the idea we are trying to promote.
Which is a very good idea, like you said, which I must commend you guys for a job well done. In Sierra Leone, we have the culture in terms of us not probably trusting the system in terms of what we created in Sierra Leone, in terms of us producing. Like, for example, if Sierra Leone is producing water or juice, people prefer to buy imported water or juice instead of them buying Sierra Leone product. How can we change that perception?
Yes, so that is why one of our main thing we do is try to campaign on mindset. We have a negative mindset, just as you said. What we think is that what comes from other places is more important than what comes here. And then if you listen to all the agricultural ministers that we've had in this country, all of them without exception will say the rice that we are importing is a substandard one. And they always say that the rice that we produce in country is more good than the one that we are importing. So I don't know where this system is coming, wherein people think other people's things are more important than ours. But I think it's also about certain issues. For example, packaging and value addition. I think that is some of the problems that are responsible for that. But we want to tell people, let's have confidence in ours. Then also, it's also a systematic problem. For example, the government and the other organizations, we are not promoting what we have. We just that, as I talk about the mindset, we only think other people's things are more important. Other people are packaging their products. They are giving it a very well PR strategies that will, promote them over ours. So people more depend on them. And then another issue is because we have been dependent on people, they are the ones giving us their money, right? They are the ones sponsoring our government. So because they are the ones sponsoring our government, they give you the money, they tell you, go and buy it to us. You understand? They give you the money and then they tell you what to do. So that is a problem. So if government is importing other things, government wants these things to be bought. So they promote what other people are doing than what we are producing. So we have to change that mindset and have an independent mindset and believe in what we produce to see that we promote Sierra Leone and then we make sure that the country develops. We make sure that our youth, as the evangelist and also the coalition man that just went out was saying, that we are saying, we want to see how the youth are developed. We want to see how, everybody in the country develop gradually. Because these youth, we are seeing massive unemployment, right? We are seeing massive unemployment, and then people are always talking about jobs. How do you talk about jobs, about employing people when the jobs are not available?
Like you said, it's another issue, but, some people, like what you said, if you go to farm these days, you will see young people going back, which is good. Sometimes when they're done their production, they bring it back to the city to sell. If you go to the market, marketplaces, you'll find out that people sell more of imported rice, and our own products here in Sierra it's quite very expensive than the ones who come in from overseas. So you find out that people buy more of imported rice instead of going for own rice. Our own product here, it's quite expensive. Like, for example, if you go to the market, you want to buy a cup of rice. Instead of people sell it 2,000, they will buy it 3,000. And then the imported rice, they will buy it 2,000. So people prefer buying the imported rice than going for our own local rice.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. That is the issue. That is why I said there are problems, systematic problems. As I gave the example of the donor funds, when they give you money, they tell you go and buy our rice, right? So the problem is, I am not an economist, but I used to hear people say the higher the supply, the lower the price, right? So the problem is we are not producing enough for the country. We don't have enough in the country. What is enough in the country is the imported one. We see imported food everywhere. And then the one that we are producing in country is small. So if the supply is small, the price goes up. And everybody knows our own produce are more value than what is coming in. So what happens? It goes up. And then, we don't have a harmonized market system wherein we can get the produce, like you mentioned. People don't sell their product in the market. It's very difficult to get the produce from the villages to that of the bigger towns, or giving them value addition. So those are some of the things we need to tackle to see that we have more of our produce than that of the imported one. When we have more of our produce, then our prices go down. That's automatically, So
which is very important. So which I would say there should be coming of your organization, which is Foundation for Development. How you guys coming in terms of creating the platform, the awareness raising for young people to go back to farming, and the commitment of the authorities in terms of them promoting our own local product here in Sierra Leone. Like the other day, the Produce Monitoring Board, they're actually creating a platform. You know, they organize, also the local content agency organize events, telling people to go their local products there, selling them, you know, encourage people to buy it. And I think sometimes back there's this tussle between the supermarket owners and then you know those who do the produce, and they said selling Sierra Leone product it's quite challenging. One, the packaging, it's so challenging for them, and they said even if they put it to their shelf and people go in there to buy it, immediately they hear it's product for Sierra Leone, they will not buy. So how can we change that mindset? Everybody come together and show that we sell our own product, both local and international.
Yes, that is why we are here. That is why we are engaging you media people, because we know you are, you are the foundation for the spread of any information we want to spread. So, like, back to your question, I think, just as I said, it's about mindset. We have developed a mindset that what is coming is more important. So people feel sophisticated when they go for, imported goods. Oh, I bought this. Well, it is made in China. It is made in Canada. It is made in USA. People feel so good that we are eating something from somewhere else, and then they are leaving theirs. And then when the gun is dry, everybody cries. We have to change that. We have to also tell the government that they have to do something. They have to do things around policies. They have to do things around implementing those policies and the highest peak. There are policies in place that promote local content. We have the local content policy, but government has not been somehow hard in implementing it. So we want to call on government. We want to call on all the players around the Produce Monitoring Board, the local content agency, central government, to come together and see that we protect our own local content, so that we promote them. We try to see how best we can, promote everything that we produce in Sierra Leone. I think that should be the new agenda of Sierra Leone, because most of the projects we are implementing now are projects that we just spend on, and they don't bring money back. So we have to redirect our focus on projects that will bring us money than just spending.
Okay. So what we should be expecting from your organization, as we have less than 7 more days to end 2019, and what are your plans ahead, and some developments as well?
Yes, quickly, we just want to see that the country has changed its mindset to what we are telling them now, because this is the solution. When we took over this country in 1961, everything has been going down. We have seen musicians saying, yesterday better past today. We've seen, even today, you ask the elderly people that yesterday would today also better, they will tell you yesterday better past today. So everything is going down because of the road we've taken. We have to change the road. If you think the road is leading you in a very bad way, we have to change it. We've seen people in this country, they have voted for 3 presidents. They are still the way they are. In fact, they are even worse. So we have to see how best we can change strategies to see that we approach sustainable development. The world says we should get the 17 goals by 2030. The way we are going, we will not be able to get the goals in 2030. The world is saying we should not be hungry in 2030. Sierra Leone is not on the road. The world is saying we should not be poor by 2030. Sierra Leone is not on the road. The world is saying everybody must have access to energy by 2030. Sierra Leone is not on the road. The world is saying everybody must fight climate change by 2030. Sierra Leone is not on the road. The world is saying everybody must have quality education by 2030. Well, we have launched a program, but I think we have to do more to enhance that. So if you see all the sustainable development goals, Sierra Leone is not in a better road to achieve them. So we want to see how best Sierra Leoneans can change their mindset to believe that we as Sierra Leoneans can do things on our own. Let's produce for ourselves. Let's manufacture for ourselves. Let's promote the people we are teaching in the classrooms. We said we want. Why are you teaching people if you have to import other you have to import foreigners to do your work. Why are you teaching them? We are teaching them engineering to do our engineering work. Why are you importing foreign engineers? So let's see how best we can put these people in the field and then try to do things for ourselves. Like we see Gentoo. Let's promote Gentoo and other people. Gentoo is doing well. People are saying he is slow in what he does. Yes, he is slow, but to me, it's a plus on Sierra Leone because we are doing it. So to time, he will be fast, right? So let's create platforms where we can promote our own production and manufacturing. To me, that is the way. We are coming in a new year. Let's go with a new mindset. The old one has failed us. If something failed you, try another one and see what happens. So let's move to another mindset, that is production and manufacturing. Let's support again our farmers in the villages. Yesterday, Sierra Leone was importing food, exporting food. We don't have machines then that we are working, because in most cases when I go to places, people tell me about mechanization. I tell them yes, mechanization should be the new way to go, but we don't have them. Since we don't have them, let's make use of what we have. Two things: the lands and that of the energetic human resource we have. Let's start with them. When we create some money, then we can buy machines and then move forward. Yes, machines are good. So I will tell everybody that let's come together as a country and try to have a single mindset, and then let's avoid this politicking, politics of division, politics of region, politics of color, politics of region, any form of political divide. Let's forward on what we want. We see other nations, even they have a president that is not mentally stable, but they still focus on what they want. People like the United States and other places. So let's see how best we as a country have a mindset of what we want. So we have launched, how do I put it, a fundraising campaign with Sierra Leoneans. So we want them to support us. Support us even if it's 1,000 leones. 1,000 leones, if every Sierra Leonean contributes 1,000 leones to our movement, it's going to generate something over 7 billion leones. So your 1,000 leones is important. We want to see Sierra Leoneans contribute, and then we have created mobile money numbers wherein if you want to support us, you can send it on 080340448. 080340448. Or 076 910170, 076 910170, or 031 541194. You can use those numbers to send us at least 1,000 leones. If your family is 10, you can send 10,000 leones. Then you help us. So if you want to do it on the bank, we have a bank account at Access Bank. Our bank account name is Foundation for Development. Their bank account number is 001-001-001-5980. As we said, we want us to liberate our minds, not to think that somebody else has to do something for us. If we come together and try to mobilize our resources and human resource, I think we can reach where we want to reach.
Okay, thank you very much, Tholoma Sumah. He's Executive Director for the Foundation for Development.